Okay, let's get into essay number 36. But before we do, there's a little blurb here. We just finished essay number 35 on mutual instruction classes. We're reading this book called American Miscellany, published in 1865, and I think the publisher just likes to fill random empty spots in his book, just to use all the ink he possibly can. So we've just finished this essay, and we're about to start essay number 36 on gold and silver mines of Mexico. But we do have this little blurb here in the bottom corner on weights and measures, which really has nothing to do with mutual instruction classes or gold and silver mines. Well, maybe the gold and silver mines. Anyway, let's go ahead and just read out this little blurb here on weights and measures on page 94. All right, weights and measures. Wheat flour, 1 pound is 1 quart. Indian meal, 1 pound 2 ounces is 1 quart. Butter, when soft, 1 pound 1 ounce is 1 quart. Loaf sugar broken, 1 pound is 1 quart. White sugar powdered, 1 pound 1 ounce is 1 quart. Best brown sugar, 1 pound 2 ounces is 1 quart. Eggs, average size, 10 eggs are 1 pound. 16 large tablespoonfuls are half a pint. 8 tablespoonfuls are 1 gill. 4 large tablespoonfuls are half a gill. A common-sized tumbler holds half a pint. A common-sized wine glass holds half a gill. Good to know. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the main subject at hand. Essay number 36, Gold and Silver Mines of Mexico. So we're here on page 94 of American Miscellany. Let's read about gold and silver mines of Mexico. The gold and silver mines of Mexico have not been overrated. From the discovery of this continent in 1492 to the year 1803, the gold and silver obtained from the American mines amounted to the enormous sum of $5,706,700,000. Of this sum, an average of $35 million was produced after the year 1750. Although a large amount of the precious metals are annually produced in South America, Mexico is constantly increasing the number of her mines so that her facilities for furnishing gold and silver are second to none on the continent. The quantity of silver produced by the American mines as compared with the gold is 46 to 1. Yes. The silver ore obtained in Mexico is not as valuable as that obtained in Europe, yielding but 1 ounce of pure silver to 400 ounces of ore, while the average yield of the European ore is very near 3 times as great. The mines of Europe have been worked for centuries, and the heavy expense required to obtain the ore from the bowels of the earth greatly increases the cost of silver. The abundance of ore and the facilities for procuring it in Mexico more than compensate for its comparative barrenness. But few large mines have been opened and continually worked in Mexico. It has been the common practice, when the water or other causes render the mining operations difficult, to quit the spot and commence at some new place. Semi-barbarous as Mexico has been, there is no country on the globe where the labor of procuring the precious metals is so well rewarded as in that country. At Potosi, in South America, the mines are worked entirely by Indians, 6,000 of whom are sent every 18 months from the neighboring provinces, the pay of each being about 30 cents a day. In Europe, most of the mines are worked by criminals. In Mexico, the laborer who works in the mines earns $5 per week, and those employed to carry the ore from the mine to the furnace receive nearly $2 per day's work of 6 hours, while the common laborer of the country does not earn more than $1.50 per week. Specimens of virgin gold have sometimes been discovered in Mexico, but this metal is commonly found combined with quartz, mica, slate, and the various members of the greenstone family. The annual quantity of quicksilver which is used in Mexico for separating the silver from the ore exceeds 200,000 pounds. This is obtained from Spain, Austria, Italy, and Germany. A failure of the regular supply of quicksilver would materially retard the production of silver from the Mexican mines. The Rothschilds are aware of this fact and have sometimes operated extensively in quicksilver by purchasing all that was in the market and raising its value before the amount required for the regular consumption could be procured from the mines. Without the aid of quicksilver, the cost of separating the silver from the ore would nearly equal the value of the silver procured. The quicksilver mines of Idria in Austria, near the Gulf of Venice, are the most extensive of any in the world. These mines were discovered in 1497 by a cooper who, having placed a new tub under a dropping spring at night, discovered in the morning a shining fluid at the bottom of the tub, which was so heavy that he could hardly move it. He carried the article to an apothecary in a neighboring town, who gave him a small sum for it, and requested him to bring more. Notwithstanding the large quantities of gold embedded in the earth in Mexico, the expense of preparing it for use from its rough state, as found in the mine, is an item of considerable importance. It is easy to imagine that the mines of Mexico abound in lumps of solid gold, but the truth is far different, nor would it at all benefit America if gold could be produced at 1/2 its present cost. The most favored nation in this respect, Spain, has dwindled from a powerful people to an indolent and powerless race, while the inhabitants of Iceland, who have few luxuries provided by nature, being compelled to depend upon their own exertions for a livelihood, present an example for morality and intelligence which might be copied by nations whose lots are cast in countries abounding, as it were, in milk and honey.